WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 6.
Talks to discuss a 28-point U.S. proposed peace plan to end the Russia-Ukraine war are underway. It's our top story here at 6. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Karina Prieto. Rachel has the night off. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in Switzerland this weekend, meeting with Ukrainian and European officials to hammer out a possible peace deal that would bring the war between Russia and Ukraine to an end. Willie James Inman is here for you now in Washington with the latest.
President Trump issued a message on social media Sunday taking aim at Ukraine, days after the U.S. proposed a peace plan to end Russia's war with Ukraine. On Truth Social, the president wrote, "I inherited a war that should have never happened. Ukraine leadership has expressed zero gratitude for our efforts." U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was in Switzerland for talks with Ukrainian and European leaders regarding a possible peace deal.
I think this is a very, very meaningful, I would say probably best meeting and day we've had so far in this entire process, going back to when we first came into office in January.
The U.S. 28-point proposal would end the war, but force Ukraine to give up a fifth of its territory, some under Russian occupation. Ukraine would also have to shrink its military about a third and be barred from joining NATO.
This plan is not about the justice and the truth of this war and the aggression.
Several U.S. lawmakers have expressed concern about the proposal as well.
It is a horrible deal for Ukraine, for our allies, and even for our own national security. If Putin gets the chance with that deal to, rearm, rebuild his economy, and gained territory, by the way, that's what he wanted. Well, then the Baltics, Poland, Romania, all those other countries down the line are at threat.
President Trump is pushing Ukraine and Russia to commit to a peace deal by Thanksgiving Day. In a statement today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked President Trump and European partners. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Well, we have a heads up for drivers. There are some ramp and lane closures on US 127 that could affect your commute throughout this work week and for the holiday. Today, the southbound US 127 exit to eastbound I-96 in Lansing will be closed for construction. Then throughout this week, the northbound US 127 ramp to westbound I-496 will remain closed while crews remove the crossover south of M43 along the barrier wall. Then following Thanksgiving, intermittent single lane closures will be in place around the city, including the northbound US 127 exit to Kalamazoo Street, the Trowbridge Road entrance ramp to northbound US 127, and the northbound US 127 exit to Trowbridge Road. Drivers should expect delays and detours while this work is done. And officials say it's all part of a $205 million investment to address safety concerns and improve traffic. And staying on the road, drivers can expect higher prices at the pump today. AAA reports the statewide average price is $3.11 per gallon of regular unleaded gas, and that's a 9-cent increase compared to last week. For those of you here in Lansing, you're going to pay a little bit more with an average of $3.20, while it's lower for those of you in Jackson, averaging $3.18. Senator Gary Peters is introducing a new Motorcycle Safety Awareness Act to expand safety education at Department of Motor Vehicles locations across the United States. Peters says both drivers and motorcyclists need to be equipped with the educational tools to ensure safety on the roads. Peters says the new legislation would require states to include motorcycle safety materials in driver education and licensing exams to receive funds for highway safety programs. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, more than 6,000 motorcyclists were killed in 2023, accounting for 15% of all traffic fatalities.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, tonight was one of those last nights that you could really enjoy the sunset because we have quite an active pattern going into this Thanksgiving week. We have this nice picture from Blanche, though, from Grand Ledge. You can see the beautiful reds in the sky there. Like I said, we're not going to be seeing too much of that because we have some rain and some snow on the way going later in the week. But of course, if you want to send any pictures, we love when you send them in. Just go ahead and send them to WLNS.com/share, if I can say that correctly. Current temperatures across the area, a little bit cooler than what we peaked at today. We're sitting at 45 degrees in Lansing, 46 in Mason, and 46 degrees over in Jackson. Satellite and radar, we did have a few mid-level clouds pass through the area. You can see those have moved to the south and east. And any activity that we have is way over in New York right now, and that's going to continue to move off to the east, and we're just going to have a dry day tomorrow, but we will have increasing clouds. So we'll time it out though. So as we go into tomorrow morning, we'll have mostly clear skies across the area. But you notice as we go later in the day, we'll have some clouds start to increase from the south and west. And that's out ahead of our next system. So as we go into Tuesday, you notice that line of rain starts to come from the south, and it'll start to affect the area going into the afternoon hours on your Tuesday. That'll stick around as we have another round of rain going into the early part of your Wednesday morning, and that's going to come with some colder air as well. As we get into the later parts of Wednesday, that rain quickly transitions over to snow. So our high temperatures will peak in the early part of the day because we'll have falling temperatures throughout the day as well. And then going into your Thursday, Thanksgiving morning, you see we have that lake effect snow on the west side of the state. So as far as traveling, I think we'll be fine over here in mid-Michigan, maybe a few snow showers from time to time. But if you're traveling on the west side of the state, you might want to keep that in mind because visibility could be dropping at times with these snow bands. The snow continues going into Black Friday, but just a few flurries here in the Lansing area. Again, pretty unimpactful. As we go into your Sunday, though, we have a better chance of some snow across the area. And as we get later into the week, though, you can see that we have a higher chance of some above average precipitation. So any future snow showers will be likely in the form of snow. So looking at the Skyview Network camera, current temperature in St. John's is 45. Capitol camera, our current temperature there is sitting at 45 as well, with the wind coming out of the west at 10 miles an hour. And then looking at the Jackson camera, our current temperature there is sitting at 46 degrees with the wind coming out of the west at 6 miles an hour. And over in Hillsdale, our current temperature there is sitting at 46 with a southwest wind that is currently calm. And looking at tonight's forecast, so we drop to 30 degrees, partly cloudy skies. And then as we go to tomorrow, increasing clouds with temperature of 52 degrees, but we stay dry. Going to that 6-day forecast, so you can see we start to have a big change. Temperatures drop on Wednesday, snow showers for Thanksgiving, and then we have a few more flurries on Friday, and then we have another system that comes in after that. 6+6-day forecast shows temperatures in the 30s as we hit December, Karina. So time is flying.
All right. Well, I know Thanksgiving is like the big travel holiday, and so this is good news for those people who are traveling. I guess depending what part of the state you're going to.
Yeah. Now. So the west side of the state might see some snow, and then towards the end of the weekend, we gotta focus on that. So we have another snow system coming in.
We'll keep an eye out. Thanks, Cole.